Morning, everybody. Welcome to the Global Business Summit on Creative Content. Thank you all very much for coming here this morning for what I think is going to be a very exciting and informative day. I'm Claire Balderson. I'm your facilitator for today. I'm a former BBC journalist, and I spent most of my career with the BBC World Service, which is one of Britain's greatest exporters of high-quality creative content. So I am delighted to be here today and to guide you through the day's events. Let's be honest, business and summit are two words that don't always promise magic and excitement, but we've got Harry Potter and James Bond on the agenda today, amongst many other things. So I think you'll get that this is going to be a rather different sort of a gathering. And I know that I'm still feeling some of the magic and the electricity from that wonderfully creative, inspiring and very, very British Olympic opening ceremony last Friday night. And the whole event gave such a good flavour of what this country has to offer. And the leading Chinese artist, Ai Weiwei, he put it really well, I think, in a review he did in The Guardian, when he said, he praised the density of information about events and stories and literature and music, about folk tales and movies. And he added rather beautifully, a nation that has no music and no fairy tales is a tragedy. Well, as will be reinforced today, this is very much a nation of music and of fairy tales and of so much more that is creative. All of that, of course, promises great fun for all of us, but it also promises, just as importantly, tremendous commercial opportunities for businesses all over the world. So that's what we're here for. And amongst the questions we're going to be asking, how can creative ideas and projects be captured for commercial success? What are the opportunities and challenges presented by the digital revolution in creative content? And how can creativity add value to businesses all over the world? Now, before I introduce your formal host for the day, a few housekeeping announcements. Please switch your electronic devices to silent. If a fire alarm sounds, then follow the instructions of the staff, and hopefully they know what they're doing. Please be aware that today's events are being recorded. Some may be broadcast live to other venues. And a little bit about our venue here. As you may have already seen, Lancaster House has been transformed into an embassy showcasing the UK as a creative and innovative place to do business. The art's been rehung to include Grayson Perry, Damien Hirst and Bridget Riley, to name just a few. And the furniture, lighting, crafts and accessories have been provided very generously by the UK's leading creatives, and that includes War Thistleton. They designed the pavilion leading to the garden where we're going to have coffee at 11 o'clock. Please do use your Samsung tablets to find out more about the products that are on display in this magnificent building. Well, we have an awful lot to get through today, so without further ado, let me introduce you to your formal host, Ed Vaizey, the Minister for Culture, Communications and Creative Industries. Ed.
Thanks very much. I'm not entirely sure what a formal host is. I don't know if there's an informal host to host with me, but I want to start by thanking Claire Balderson. We in this government believe in creative exports, and Claire used to work for the BBC. She worked for the BBC for 15 years. She's now left. She's freelance. She's available for hire. So I hope that you'll promote her around the world and help our GDP figures. Thank you all very much for attending. I'm the Minister for the Creative Industries, and it is an honour and a privilege to represent such a vibrant sector of the UK economy, which keeps outperforming and breaking records and putting the UK on the map. Throughout today, we'll hear about film, music, television, theatre, fashion, publishing and video games. And I think these are all sectors where we lead the world. In film, we've had some astonishing figures recently published by the British Film Institute showing that inward investment in this country is at record levels. We have fantastic studio facilities, fantastic creativity and unparalleled skills. In music, anyone who saw or attended the opening ceremony at the Olympics, I personally felt that there are few countries in the world that could put on the kind of soundtrack that we heard at the Olympics opening ceremony. We're world famous for our theatre, providing fantastic actors who then go on to glittering Hollywood careers and then come back and wow us in the theatre as well. And in, I think, the last 15 or 20 years, British fashion has really put itself on the map, and London Fashion Week is now a highlight of the international fashion calendar. In publishing, we're one of the few nations in the world that publishes more than 100,000 book titles a year and exports its product. And in video games, again, we are the European hub of video games development, and we continue to thrive. In just the last few weeks, great stories such as Sega investing £100 million in creative assembly, Activision setting up its mobile studio in Leeds. Today, our announcement that we're proceeding with a co-production film treaty with Brazil, and also the partnership between UKTI and the British Film Institute to export our film skills all around the world, are just some of the evidence of the continued momentum in the creative industries in this country. I think what makes the UK successful is we have a very strong intellectual property regime. We have a fantastic skill set in every area. We have great finance, but also uniquely as well, we have that mix of skill and creativity. At our business embassy yesterday, where we concentrated on creative services, one of the themes that emerged from that as well was one of partnership and a feeling that the UK is a great nation to partner with, to produce creative content or to work in creative services. And one of my other great privileges as well has to be to go around the world and meet many other nations who take their creative services equally seriously, take their creative industries equally seriously, and to realize that by working together, we can achieve a great deal. We're still continuing to invest in our creative industries, and I was delighted in the last budget that the Chancellor confirmed that we're introducing tax credits for high-end television, for animation, and for video games. And as the Prime Minister said at the reception we held for the creative industries last night at the Royal Academy, there is no better time to come to the UK to invest in the creative industries, to base yourselves here, or to work with the UK creative industries in your own country. We're going to hear from some great people over the next few hours. I don't want to hog the stage because they're going to be a lot more interesting. I was privileged at a recent trip to Tokyo to open a conference in order to introduce Howard Stringer, and I did the job so well that when Howard agreed to speak at today's Business Embassy, he said he wouldn't speak unless I introduced him. Howard and I went to the same college, obviously not at the same time. I was a few years ahead, but I'm really pleased to see how well he's done. But I think Claire is going to give the formal introduction as our informal host, but I'm delighted that Howard Stringer is going to kick off a pantheon of creative greats to talk to us about the creative industries throughout the day.